Right when I go live, Kyle gets up.
Gotta go.
Yep, I'm out of here. So, um, how you doing, guys? This is Mark Camelar. I'm one of the Jeepspeed owners here, and for all of you guys that are tuning in live here or that'll be watching in the replay, just wanted to kind of come back. It's been almost a week since King of the Hammers Desert Challenge. We've got some racers that actually did some time in the dirt, brought a lot of that dirt home with them, and so there's no real format here. Just trying to bring out anybody we can. So I've got here on the screen, I got the two Kyles. Kyle's raced in the 47-41 in the T2 class. Then I've got Mr. Ken Tiki of Tostana, Team Shake and Bake, with one of my buddies over there. He's driving, so he may cut in and out. And then I got the world famous Wisconsin Robs there, Hayden and Bruce, that I'm going to leave their story till a little bit at the end, because I'm still in awe of everything that family did just to get out to the race, as well as kind of going forward. So let me go ahead. Ken, can you hear me? Kind of cutting in and out there. All right, let's go ahead. We'll top my start of my screen there. I've got Kyle and Kyle. Why don't you guys tell me a little bit about your experience at KOH? Highlights, lowlights, whatever's there.
Which one do you want to go first?
Whichever. You, Kyle's.
Take it on, driver.
King of Hammers, what do I say about it? It was definitely an epic experience. I've been wanting to go out there and watch it for a long time, so when we got the opportunity to race it, it was something that we couldn't pass up. It was definitely something that if you haven't been, you got to go check out. It's pretty cool. It's like you got a little off-road expo mixed in with some concerts, and you got everything from razors to full rock crawlers out there and everything in between. So that was definitely pretty cool, and we don't get that with any other series. As far as the race goes, it was a fun race course. The fast was fast, and the rough was rough. I mean, there were some things I'm surprised that we even got over, but overall, it was definitely an experience that I'm glad I got to do and be part of.
So you've been racing in our 1700 series along with me, and I guess you had to get out of it because I was kicking your butt too much, or maybe we just weren't enough competition, whatever it might be. But you had 4-wheel drive, and now you went down to 2-wheel drive. You got a whole lot more horsepower, but which would you rather have, that 4-wheel drive or that horsepower?
My back really appreciates me having more suspension and horsepower. I'll tell you that much. It's definitely two different worlds. They're both very fun. I like each for different reasons. Definitely missed the 4-wheel drive on this one. That's how my race ended because I didn't have it. But I'm definitely glad I stepped up to 47. It's a lot better of a ride. I'll tell you that much.
Awesome. Kyle, anything you want to share, Mr. Co-driver?
Right. It was just a good race all in all. It was definitely a nice getting into the new truck, getting a rhythm and all that. Definitely stepping into the King of Hammers race with the new truck was definitely an experience, and trying to keep up on calls, the faster pace and all that, but stepped right in my groove, and it was a good time.
Nice. Well, I know that your driver was battling a little bit of illness on race day Sunday.
Yep.
You guys handled that pretty well. Kyle, Gieselman, did you have that illness kind of go away once you got going on the desert there?
It got worse, and actually, Kyle ended up coming down with the same thing. So we were both sick on, and I actually had it for about two weeks prior, and then the week of urgent care twice before we went to the race. It ended up going in my eye. I didn't think I was gonna make it, but we ended up going for it. I was gonna get out and have Kyle drive, and he's sitting there looking at me like, "Well, I can't do it either. I'm sick now too." So, but you know how it is. Once you get out there, you kind of forget about the little bug that you have when you're racing.
True. Yeah, true that. Well, I've got Ken. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. We got you there. So it's Shake and Bake. What's going on, Cal? I know you're driving in 91 freeway traffic on the way home, so make sure you don't cause any fender benders. But tell us a little bit about your experience out there.
Yeah, hell, I haven't even got to the 91. I'm still stuck on the 55. So
I beat you home, Ken.
yeah, you're driving thing. No, we had a good race. Adam ran the prologue on Saturday, and he put in a heater. I mean, we usually figure 35 mile an hour is a good average in our class, and he averaged over 40 miles an hour for the whole prologue, and that included the rock crawling section. That I mean, I guarantee you, even in a trophy truck, you weren't going more than 5-10 miles an hour. And we got he missed a shift going up the sand hill, got stuck, had to back down and take 3 stabs at it. So you throw those delays in and still come up with a 40 mile an hour average. That was good. So I was proud of him. He drove it like he stole it. I always drive it like I got to pay for it.
Yeah, so what I was looking, I mean, I was watching and we were supposed to do 2 laps, guys. I don't know if anybody on here did 2 laps. What happened? I know that we had some guys that went out on that second lap. Ken, you guys went out on that second lap, and I'm sitting there watching all these golf carts come in and going, okay, it should be a Jeep here pretty soon, and no cell service really. So tell me what happened to you guys out there.
Well, it was all good till it wasn't. I mean, we got to about, I got to think about mile 28, and the car just died. Looked down, and we were only at about 8 volts. So Adam and I got out and poked around, tried to find a something that was loose, or maybe a belt had come off or something, and nothing. We left the batteries off for a little bit, and they kind of healed themselves a little bit. I tried the car again, and it fired up. Shut it off. I said, Adam, let's suit back up, get belted in, and let's go. Because we were only about 4 miles from the pit, and we got about another mile, and it shut off again. We did that about 2 or 3 times, and then we got to the base of this hill climb. It looked like it was about a half-mile hill climb, and it was all single track. And I told Adam after it died that time, I said, I'm not even going to try to go up there because it'll make recovery, too difficult. Plus, we'd be blocking the trail. We couldn't get off the trail. So we got it fired up one more time and got across the race course. So we could see the pit. We could see the lake bed from where we were at. And we sat there for a little bit trying to get recovery. And they kept telling us they wouldn't recover us till after the trophy trucks ran. And I said, well, this is stupid because we're already on the other side of the race course. We're not going to have to cross race course or go on race course. About that time, some old boy came by in a UTV, and he says, well, what do you think? You think I can pull you? And I said, well, I don't know. It's downhill from here. How much that sumbitch weigh? And I said, well, I don't know. Let's put a strap on it and see what happens. He goes, this thing's belt driven. He says, I think the faster I go, the cooler the belt will be. I said, okay, I'll follow you. And sucker took off at race pace, man. I didn't have any power steering or brakes, and blasted across the desert. I'm going, shit, hold on, man. And I didn't put my helmet on, so all the dust and shit he was kicking up and rocks were going right in my face. I couldn't hardly see. But I thought, man, I can't give up now. I got to follow him in. And he got us to the lake bed, and that was the end of our day.
Awesome. Well, I know I've got Rob Subert on here. I know he had texted me that he's got a daughter's basketball game that he's waiting to go. So, Rob, I know I was watching on the big screen with Michelle, and we see this video of Darren Parsons on his side next to this boulder, and everyone's going, "Oh my goodness, wow, this is kind of crazy." And then all of a sudden, I see this 4724 come into the screen, and then they start talking, "Oh, he's going to make it. He's going to make it." And then tell me about what happened after that.
Yeah, truck decided to take a nap. So, yeah, when we hit the side hill, we could have went straight to the top of the hill, but there was a huge ditch there. And if you saw the video, I saw it afterwards. Some trophy trucks went around us and went straight to the top, but they hit this huge ditch, and it was impressive when they hit it. But I saw that, figured we couldn't get through it, and so I tried to get back on the course, and a little too steep, I guess. It just laid over about as slow as I've ever laid it over. So bummer. A couple of Jeeps tipped us back over on our feet. Kyle went by, and
Jeepspeed saving Jeep saved by for the Jeepspeed there, huh? A little pro truck action. Got some Jeep love. So tell me a little bit about your day out there.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. So after the rollover, the tip over, we had a pretty clean day, but we were losing. We had similar problems to Ken. We were losing voltage all day, so our alternator wasn't making power. But the two batteries in it held up pretty well. But by the end of the day, we were down to about 11 volts, and that was cutting our fuel pressure as well. So we were running out of fuel. Couldn't go over about 4,000 RPM, and it would just run out of it, just fall on its face because we're out of fuel. Which really only caused, I mean, other than making us slow, we had an issue at that big sand hill. We got stuck because the motor died halfway up it. So I had to back up, get another run at that. And as soon as we cleared that, it was, and I think Kyle was there somewhere. We didn't see him, but that's where he had trouble as well. I don't know if he saw us or not, but
we were down
really sunny, and there was 4 million people there. Did you see us, Kyle?
No, we were down in the valley
on the left side.
Yeah, so we heard you go by, but we didn't see you.
Yeah, so we cleared the sand hill finally, and then we went into the finish, and we weren't clear whether our event was a Grand Prix finish or not. So we knew the morning race was, but I never did get a good answer on the afternoon. So we pulled into the pit and started to put an alternator on it to go out for lap 2, and I told one of the gals to go find out if it was a Grand Prix finish. Turns out it was. And they weren't going to let us go for a second lap anyway. So at that point, we just jumped back in the truck and crossed the finish line. We were 200 yards from it. So, it was a win, but it sure didn't feel like a win. That was the weakest win I've ever had. Everybody else just had worse days than us, I think.
Yeah, well, sometimes, anytime you get across that finish line and don't have to put it on the trailer, it's a victory there. So,
oh yeah.
Speaking of that, let's go ahead, and I've got the Robs on screen. They've been patiently waiting to tell their story. They've come probably the farthest of anyone we've had in the past couple of years, other than our Appalachian team out in Maryland. But Bruce, Hayden, why don't you tell us a little bit about your fun experience with KOH?
Well, it's like, where do you start? Getting there was, fun with all the interstate shut down on the way there. We got there, which was great. We had a little bit of wrenching to do. Hayden went out and ran the prologue, but prior to that, I completely tackled the front axle, and we got to swap your axle and Mark that you lent us there, and we'll take care of. And that was fun for a day, right? Trying to get a 4-wheel drive axle and our 2-wheel drive Jeep and make that all work. And
so let me just be clear on what happened with that. We're based out of the city of Orange County, and we were out a couple hours out to Johnson Valley where the event is on a Friday night. Bruce had to drive all the way back into Orange County with Mike Barnett, our other Jeepspeed guy, to his shop. He pulled out my old 44 housing, and then you had to fight all of that traffic back, like what Ken's doing today. Except you didn't go through the fast pass, did you?
I'm
No,
sneaking in.
no, I don't have that. I
Yeah.
don't have it. Hayden was
So
he was pulling the old one out while I was driving, so we got it
yeah, and
done.
I was still back on the lake bed watching, and I can tell you, Hayden is quite an impressive young man. There, he can wrench with the best of them, you know, and it's the family there. The Robb family is just pretty impressive. It's testament to, you know, why they won our kind of Jeepspeed team award last year, and they're looking good already on this year. So don't want to interrupt you there. Go ahead and tell me a little bit more about some of that cross training that you had during the event.
Yeah, so Hayden got through the prologue. You know, we had a little bit of a hiccup there where we forgot to check the differential for oil. So we took the green flag and the prologue, got out right after the first couple corners to make sure we weren't going to destroy it. So Hayden ran the prologue and we kind of just finished just to finish. And then, yeah, Saturday morning we took off and mile marker 3.5, we chucked the drive shaft. And I ran ran all the way back to main pit from 3.5, you know, over all the mountain there and the rocky stuff, and ran back with it, and then got to recover for a few minutes while Hayden put it in, and then we took off again. You know, that was about a 2-hour block there, you know, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so anybody that's watching this, normally Best in the Desert will let us take parts out with recovery, but King of the Hammer is not so much. You have to take out your own. And so this is also a race recap, but also a Jeepspeed driver tutorial for the likes of Ken, the likes of Bruce. Put your spare parts in your car. Then you don't have to worry about stopping or running all the way back. But no, that's I kid when I say that because I got to run just a short period of time back from where our garage area was to the main pit to get some gear oil when we thought we didn't have it in there. But thank you guys. I would have never got that exercise otherwise. I appreciate that. So I mean, this event here for me was really pretty epic. I think Kyle said it maybe before we got on, but I've also used the explanation. It's kind of like Burning Man meets Coachella meets Demolition Derby meets the swap meet, and so many different things that are out there. It was awesome. Anybody want to share anything that they want with anybody else and thoughts?
I got something.
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle. I got something too. Go ahead.
This was the craziest thing about King of Hammers. You show up and you got 15 different questions about anything. And you ask about 50 people the same question, and everyone goes, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, come race day, there's a transponder on your car. You go racing, you're where you're supposed to be. Somehow everything worked out, but yet no one knew anything the whole time. But it was almost like they almost made it to where you would show up and all you had to worry about was your race, and they took care of everything else. They didn't want you to know anything, and everything worked out. But I thought that was crazy how it kind of just worked out that way, that no one knew nothing, but somehow everyone had a great weekend and it was all fun.
For sure.
It was a mess.
Yeah, I agree, Kyle. Nobody knew nothing. Every question I asked, nobody had an answer. But I had something kind of for Mark. You know, this event to me, it's so centered around the rock crawling. I mean, that's their main event, and the 4-wheel drive crowd and the mass of people there. Everybody had Jeeps and, you know, rock crawlers of some sort. I think you need to get with Dave Cole and come up with something. This has 1,700 huge class written all over it to me. I mean, I'm in the 47 class now, and, you know, I'd love to be a part of it if we can skinny our class in there as well. But, man, I mean, you should be able to get 20, 30 Jeeps. If he throws up a big purse and a, you know, kind of like the class 11, do it at night, your own class, or do it, you know, do it some different day so you're not mixed in with everybody else. The crowd there, the spectators, I think would eat that up. I mean, they're going to relate to that 1700 class way more than anything else. And I don't think it would take too much to pitch that to Dave Cole. I mean, he's bitten off on every other thing that everybody's thrown at him. And I just think it's a great venue for a huge 1700, whether it's part of our series or just a additional race or something. I mean, like I said, if you throw a big purse at it, get 30 1700s out there, it would be quite a show, and the spectators would just eat it up.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that, Rob.
I had my computer on today. My boss wasn't watching, and I was watching the Everyman Challenge, and I saw quite a few XJs in there.
Oh yeah,
and I kept thinking, oh man, I could do this. I could put a fuel cell in my rock crawler and go out and do this, So yeah, I agree. In fact, our 1700 cars would be able to do it too. I mean, my 1700 isn't as set up as my rock crawler XJ, but it'd still go through the rocks, I think.
Rick Randall took his 1700 car, and he's done a fair amount of suspension modification just to get some more articulation and work better in the rocks. But that's a 1700 car that was very successful in Jeepspeed class, and he's been doing it a couple of years now. But you might pull some of those rock crawler guys into a 1700 class race, and get a huge turnout.
Well, I hope you guys. I'm glad you guys brought that up. I'm not trying to be negative on anything in here. This is our first time that we've done it, but we've heard lots of people who, yeah, I'm going to race if it's local. I'm going to race if there's big money. Well, this was local, and there was big money that was on it, and we didn't get the cars that I had hoped for. So yeah, hopefully if we do this again in the future, we can get some of those people that committed to it. I got mine out there, and it was just sitting in the Yokohama booth, and I was having withdrawals the whole time, and then seeing what you guys did, I was so jealous. And then ultimately in that T4 class, I mean, two of our guys that were running well both got 2 laps in if they could have finished them. And, Bailey Cole, who ended up taking it overall in the T4, he was down for quite a bit of time. I mean, I think he was almost 6 hours that it took him to finish 2 laps. So, our guys were right there, and it would have been really competitive for that whole purse there. And I know I had a couple of guys, I won't name you, but you know who you are if you're watching this, that said that there's no chance that the 1700s were going to get 2 laps in on a Grand Prix finish. So you guys either aren't driving fast enough, or you don't know, the pool man and even Mark Merrill. And I know the Hayden's, Hayden and Bruce, they would have been out there if they didn't have to run back and play relay race with the drive shaft there. So I think it's a great event, to be honest with you. I'm glad that you guys are here all on the screen. Just let me recap what we had out there. We had 7 cars that showed up to the event. We had 4 1700s. We had 3 4700s, 2 Pro Trucks, 1 XJ that it was a little overmatched, but they're not really appropriately tired, I guess, for our series. So they ran in our 4700 series. We have 5 states that were represented with those 7 drivers. So we got a couple of California boys. We've got a couple of Colorado boys. We've got Arizona that was out there. We got Oregon, and we've got Wisconsin, so I mean, that in of itself, just with that, tells me how strong we are in Jeepspeed. And yeah, I'd love to see 15 20 strong out there. There should have at least been a dozen, $35,000 prize money that was up for grabs there. That's some pretty good things. I don't know how the finishes are going to convert, but just what I have based on there, we've got Ken coming in first place. Ken Ticky, pool man with Tostana Motorsports. They reverted back to the 1 lap complete. So he completed the first lap the fastest. Then we had Mark Merrill out of Colorado, Fire Guys Racing. He's still out in the desert helping out some of the levels. And then we had in the 1700, or excuse me, the T2, the 4700, we had Rob Subert, who finished a lap, got the Grand Prix, and got the victory there. We had Kyle and Kyle, who decided they wanted to hang out in the ditch for a little bit. And I guess that would put them as a second place non-finisher. So we're going to look at those points there. But the bottom line is everybody had, loads of fun out there. So we'll get it converted into our points for Jeepspeed. We'll have that up on our website as soon as we figure out how all the official rankings and all of those come in. But our next event is going to be Best in the Desert, the Silver State event. That's always a good crowd favorite. That's a fast race course for lots of the people there. And so anybody else want to say anything? I'm not sure how long we're at, about 26, 27 minutes there. I don't have any real time frame on this. If you guys need to go off, I appreciate you guys tuning in and checking this out. But I had mentioned earlier, I think before we came on screen, I'd like to do something like this every couple of weeks, maybe a month, not just race recaps, but kind of getting together and shooting the breeze and, talking Jeepspeed, maybe get some of the more people out there. I'd like to explore some of the history. We've got, the Rob's a father-son team. I started as a father-son team. My son, he's working. He was out there with us, hanging out, getting the full KOH experience, partying with the Simonson race team, mobbing through the desert over at Chocolate Thunder. I don't even know. He's old enough. He was on his own, so I didn't have to worry about him. I didn't get a phone call that he needed bail money, so that's always good. But anybody else? I know, Rob, you got to hop off pretty soon for your daughter's basketball game. Anything you want to say before you hop off?
I was curious. Can you see? Is there any other people just watching, or is just the 6 of us that are here?
It looks like I have 3 that were on there. I've got Roxanne. Looks like she's on there. I don't know if she's still live.
Okay, so not a big viewing audience then.
No, and I don't expect this. I mean, kind of like our race crowd. But if we establish something, this is going to be posted on the YouTube channel too, so people can go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get some more subscribers. This is something that I'd like to see. I'm no expert in this. I've got just kind of. Sorry. It's actually your co-driver. He's identifying as Roxanne. It looks like there. So I'm going to blame him for you guys rolling over. He's not. He needs to put a little bit more rocks in his pocket than you guys.
That's right.
that he needed to weigh a little bit more.
Yep. We were heavy on the downside. Yes.
I blame my driver for me getting stuck. So.
Yeah, that's the side you got traction on, though, at least.
Yeah,
yep.
Exactly. Onto the rock.
I have a comment about the event overall. That's the first time I've ever competed out there. I've been to a couple of KOHs years ago to spectate, but I think we ought to nominate Dave Cole to run for fucking president of the United States. He's got it together. I mean, for all of the number of races they had out there and the number of people that were out there, like Kyle said, it kind of happened, and he doesn't get weighted down with details. He's a bottom line guy, makes a decision, and I tell you what, it was the best drivers meeting I've ever been to. It was the most informative, most well run, and I can't say enough about what a good job I thought he did. So Anyway, I'll shut up.
Yeah, I would echo that. I don't know if Dave's going to have the time to watch us clowns here talking, but if Dave does happen to, or anybody is watching this and relays this back to Dave, I am truly grateful for all the assistance that he provided for us. He didn't have to do any of it, and he welcomed us in with open arms. Dave is a an old Jeepspeed racer himself. He and some of his guys were credited with building the first Wrangler in the series. So he's since I've got a Wrangler, I'm kind of partial to that. And yeah, Dave he gave us some spot out there in the desert, and Bruce was able to secure that for the first day. I don't know if it was a good spot or a bad spot. It turned to be quite the spectating area because it was right at the freeway, watching everybody go by and be ass clowns. I watched a couple razors roll right in front of us, and a couple near accidents. So, once you get inside of Hammertown, it was a lot better there. But yeah, I think the only thing that I'm not really sure is when we crossed into Australia, because I think every one of Dave's workers that I ever talked to was Australian, and so it felt like we were down under, and I was ecstatic with all the support and everything. So I'm glad you guys had a good time. That's all we're trying to do here at Jeepspeed is make sure that the racers have fun and have a place to race. We try to make it to where you guys just show up. And I know there's always concerns about what we're doing next, and we don't know. I mean, we've committed to Best in the Desert this year to do their series, and we're always going to take a look and see if KOH works for us again next year. I know I'd like to be a part of it, but we'll have to see how that is and survey some of the drivers. I mean, I've got the lion's share of my drivers that participated right now. To what Rob was saying earlier, and I'm going to hop on a soapbox a little bit. I got lots and lots of people who have all kinds of comments about how to run Jeepspeed and what we should do, yet none of them are showing up. So you guys here on the screen, I value what your opinion is, and I like that. And I'm kind of taking a page out of Dave Cole's book too. And it's like, you know what, if you want to have an opinion, show up and bring your car out. Otherwise, just let us race and have fun.
Yeah, if you don't have a dog in the hunt, sit up and watch.
All right, well, I'm going to roll. Thanks for putting all this together, Mark, and look forward to seeing us over state.
Yes, thank you, Rob, and definitely anything that we can do, help out, let us know. Try not to have to send that Danzio motor out down here and have it wrecked in shipping or anything. So
no, yeah, hopefully we're good for there for a while.
Right on. Okay,
right.
Anybody else? Thanks for joining us, Rob. We appreciate it, and congratulations on your 4700 T2 Jeepspeed victory for the Desert Challenge.
Thank you very much. See you guys.
See you later, Rob.
So now we got Rob off the screen. We can talk about him.
All right, I got something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a little bone in the pot right now.
Hold on, let me let Bruce. Bruce is he's it's like midnight back there in Wisconsin.
No, I just wanted to say, the Jeepspeed family that helped us out, all weekend. Ken, Mark, Jer, Simonson, his crew. I would just wanted to, say thanks because I think everybody at some point helped us out. So that's what I just wanted to get out there. So not to take up too much time of that, but I was just thankful for it.
Well, tell everyone how big your crew is.
We got one 14-year-old, one wife, and myself. So that's as big as we are.
Yeah, and you guys, you get her done. That's for sure, and I like it, and that's what what we want to do at Jeepspeed. Just to everybody is there. the good thing about the Jeeps is, you know, we were eyeballing parts off of some of the other XJs that were just rolling around. If there would have been one part close, we could have recovered that for you, instead of having to go all the way back to Orange. But
yeah, that's so
very
true.
cool. All right, Kyle, what's up?
All right, so you didn't hear this from me, but all you 1700 guys better get new bumpers on your car, because for Silver State, we might be bringing the old 1741 back out to race, depending on what we do with the 7. So we might be out there with the 17 car.
Bring it, man. Bring it.
But you didn't hear that from me, okay?
Yep.
No, this isn't
I just let him
recorded
know
or
that secret
anything.
right now.
I'm going to request a rear start too. So.
Well, that's good. If I'm racing, then you won't catch me. So.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Hey, you know he'll blow a motor trying.
I know he will. Yeah, blow a tranny beforehand. That's okay. It's Silver State. We have good times. I got stuck there. You know, Kyle and I, we took a nap one race. You know, decided to do one of those low speed rollovers.
Well, I parked on a tree the last time.
We had both Kyles. You guys, you both experienced misery with me at Silver State. Yeah, get me off a yucca tree. That was fun.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, well.
Very cool. All right. Well, I don't know if what else we got going here. I mean, I'm going to kind of wrap up if you guys are good, and if there's anything, like I said, I'd like to I'll put something together to kind of keep us going here, and maybe increase our viewership. So go ahead and tell your family, your friends, everybody else. Do that whole like, subscribe, follow. I'm not good at you know, all of that, but we've got plenty of socials that we're trying to keep up and running. I do want to thank our sponsors. Prime sponsor is Yokohama. Yokohama did allow us to have pit location, which was key right there at the start finish line. They had my Jeep out there, got some display and coverage, which is good. We're working on, and you're not hearing it here, but we're working on closing in another 3-year deal with Yokohama. They've been happy with us. We're happy with them. So hopefully we'll get all of those things signed. That's one of the other things we are trying to make sure that we continue with as many sponsorships as possible. We lost KMC and our relationship was good for a long time, and they went in a different direction with purchasing 4-wheel parts. So they dropped a lot of their actual clients, but I had a good conversation with KMC, and we're still looking at keeping some type of either contingency or racer program on board, so you don't have to get rid of all your KMC wheels. We're going to keep working to solidify that. But what it does, all those people who use wheels as their excuse for not getting out, you know, with Jeepspeed because they're running on race lines or they're running on methods, that's out of the water now. So you guys can bring whatever you want. All you got to do is get your Yokohamas. And how about you guys? What do you guys think about those Yokohama tires? Anybody want to share who's running on them?
We had no flats the whole weekend, so I'm happy with them.
Yeah, we're still on our first set from last year, so I have no complaints.
Yeah, and I know I didn't race this race, but my last race at Vegas to Reno, I thought I was running on the face of Mars, and I was doing about 50 miles an hour in a section that I couldn't, trying to catch first place. And I swore I would have had 4 flats, and I made it through. So I'm really sold on these tires. I too like them. And as I said, their service has been really good. We're working on having a program for them as well to be able to purchase, not just for your race car, but for your other vehicles, and having some rewards as well as, you know, just that support that they've given us has been really cool. So I'd like to thank Yokohama. I'd like to thank Rugged, definitely Jasper Motors, you know, who's out there. Evo Manufacturing, they've all been key with us. We can't wait to get back out to the best in the desert, but I think all of us we're really excited about this experience with Dave Cole and King of the Hammers. So hopefully we can do something like this in the future. So guys, thank you for taking the time on a Friday evening. I know that this wasn't the most convenient, but we'll put some feelers out to see when we could do this. Maybe get some ideas. I'd like to get my predecessor. I'm sitting in Clive Skilton's old shop, and so those of you who know Jeepspeed, Clive and Mike were the founders of this series, and so I just want to be a good steward of it and make sure that we're continuing to move forward, share some of that history, and create a lot of new history. So those of you who are watching this, thank you again. Make sure you're following this. Give us some comments. I'm no professional. None of us on here are, except for I guess we are professional racers, right? We paid our $50 for our little fees, so we're all pretty good that regard.
I'm a USAC member.
Yeah.
I got a
Oh
USAC
yeah,
license.
yeah. You keep your USAC to yourself, okay? This
Yeah.
is a family show. We don't want to go there. But all right, guys, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and we're closing in on almost 42 minutes here, and I've talked way too much, and I think I'm going to go get some dinner. Ken, you're about a third of the way home, right?
Yeah, I'm just getting on the 15 right now, going over the overpass. So life is good. Thank you, Mark, for putting this on, and thanks for all you guys coming out and racing with us. It was a good time.
For sure. All right, guys. Kyle's, thank you very much. Hope you guys are healthy and ready to go. Love to see you bring out that 1741 again at Silver State. But who's going to drive the 47?
Hey, let your
Might
dad
have to
drive.
find some extra co-drivers.
About what's happening to that thing.
You're going to have to let Mark's going to have to drive that one.
Let's just say it might need some more power under it, So that's all I'm going to say.
You never know. Might surprise you with both of them.
Yeah.
I'll drive one. Kyle drives the other.
Make sure you have a tow strap. That 17 can tow the 47 or vice versa.
Oh, whatever. Right on, Mark. Thank you.
All right. Later, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Adios.
Thanks, guys. All right. Well, that was quite exciting. I don't know what the hell we're doing when we do some of this stuff, just kind of like the racing experience. Hopefully you guys found some humor, found some information. Again, this is something that we would like to continue to do. If we get a big enough following, if we get enough of those of you out there that are subscribing and joining what we have here, then that's going to inspire us to do a little bit more. It's going to give me an opportunity to bring in some names. Those of you that watch some of the big guys running, Casey Curry, Ray Griffith, those guys all started here in Jeepspeed. And we've got, you saw on the screen today, Hayden Robb, he's another guy that could be the future. He's a pretty good driver in his own right now. And, just learning the desert, all of those things are fun. So thank you to everybody that tuned in, or all of you who are watching this on the replay. We appreciate having you. And again, please drop us a comment. Have a great weekend.